welcome to Knowledge Galaxy to rediscover the basics with Mayank Tiwari, a premier coaching and training channel dedicated to metallurgy studies and consultancy. Established to cater the needs of students, degree, diploma and AIM metallurgy, competitive and recruitment exams for GATE, SAIL and various other government and private sector companies, metallurgical industries and whosoever seeking knowledge and information about various subjects and topics of metallurgy, operational process optimization, productivity improvement analysis, concepts like 5As, total productive maintenance, TPM, quality circle, QC, root cause analysis, RCA, ISO systems, QMS, EMS and OSHAs, practical and effective communication English, written and spoken. My dear friends, first of all, I would like to thank all of my subscribers who believe in me and showing your interest. So thank you very much all my subscribers. My dear friends, to impart practical industrial knowledge as per your specific requirements via tailor-made training sessions for your colleagues, employees and students, please contact me on knowledgegalaxy26@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +91 99 071 for scheduling and organizing the sessions at your place or via video conferencing. My dear friends, another very important aspect of this channel is specialized subject-wise coaching classes are available for Diploma Engineering, Metallurgy and Mechanical, IIM, Indian Institute of Metals, Part 2 or Section B, and competitive and recruitment exams for GATE, SAIL and various other government and private sector companies. Metallurgical industries, complete syllabus coverage will be offered for the students aspiring to appear in the forthcoming or semester exams of December and June. Please contact me on knowledgegalaxy26@gmail.com or WhatsApp me on +91 99 071 44101 for scheduling and organizing the classes via video conferencing. My dear friends, those students who aspire to appear in the forthcoming semester exams or to appear in the other competitive and recruitment exams who need some guidance on the metallurgical subjects, don't waste time. Now I am available to provide you the coaching classes, and technology is also available so that you can get the knowledge and clear your doubts from the comfort of your home. So please do contact me as soon as possible. My dear friends, I have made so many videos which are available on my channel, so I request you to please do visit my channel and view all the videos available there. Also, for the benefit of you, please do watch all the videos till the end so that you can get the complete knowledge of that particular video. So my dear friends, in this video I am going to discuss about production of ferrochrome. This is also a very important ferroalloy used very widely in the steel industry for the manufacture of various types of steels. So let us start the presentation for today. First, we will start with physico-chemical properties of chromium, that is chrome Cr. Chromium is an element of sixth group of D.I. Mendeleev's periodic system of elements. Mean chromium content in the Earth's crust comes to around 0.02%. As an element, chromium was discovered in 1797 simultaneously by Vauquelin and Klaproth. Pure chromium was obtained for the first time in 1854 by the electrolysis of the aqueous solutions of brome chloride. In 1908, a metal containing 99.9% chromium was obtained by the reduction of chrome oxide by hydrogen. Ferrochrome was obtained for the first time in 1820. Carbon-bearing ferrochrome with 60% chromium and 6% carbon was produced in an electric furnace in 1893. Low-carbon ferrochrome and metallic chromium were initially obtained by the aluminothermic method. Pure chromium is a grey lustrous metal. Chromium possesses the following physicochemical properties. First, its atomic weight is 52.01. Specific gravity at 20 degrees Celsius is 7.19 grams per cubic centimeter. Valency of chromium is 2, 3 and 6. Melting point is 1930 degrees Celsius. Its boiling point is 2470 degrees Celsius. Specific heat capacity at 25 degrees Celsius is 0.12 calories per degree Celsius. Chromium and iron are soluble in all proportions in liquid as well as in solid states. Together with carbon, chromium forms stable carbides such as Cr4C with a melting point of 1520 degrees Celsius and 5.46% carbon. Second, Cr7C3 with a melting point of 1780 degrees Celsius and 9.01% carbon. And third, Cr2C3 with a melting point of 1895 degrees Celsius and 13.34% carbon. My dear friends, as it is evident from this that with increase of carbon content, the melting point of chromium carbides increases. Carbon ferrochrome contains a double carbide CrFe7.C3. Low carbon and extra low carbon grades of ferrochrome also contain carbon in the form of double carbide CrFe4C. There also is a double carbide CrFe3C in the chromium iron carbon system. With silicon, chromium forms silicides of chromium Cr3Si with a melting point of 1710 degrees Celsius, Cr3Si2 and CrSi2 with a melting point of 1550 degrees Celsius, and the most stable silicide CrSi with a melting point of 1545 degrees Celsius. Chromium gives 3 oxides with oxygen. Basic oxide CrO, that is chrome monoxide, is unstable in the air and turns rapidly to Cr2O3. Amphoteric oxide Cr2O3 or chrome oxide is lustrous green in color. Its specific gravity is 5.21 gram per cubic centimeter and its melting point is 2275 degrees Celsius. Acid oxide CrO3, that is chromic anhydride, is crimson in color, has a specific gravity of 2.7 gram per cubic centimeter and a melting point of 196 degrees Celsius. Chromic anhydride decomposes entirely at 240 degrees Celsius with the formation of chrome oxide Cr2O3. Now let us discuss about raw materials required for the smelting of ferrochrome. Main raw materials to smelt various grades of ferrochrome in electric furnaces are: first, chrome ores, that is concentrates, briquettes, lumps and chips. Second, reducers, met coke, fine coke and ferrochrome silicon. Fluxes, quartzite and lime. Chrome ores whose main chromium bearing components are the chromium spinels MgFe.CrAlFe whole twice O4 containing from 48 to 62% of Cr2O3 and rest being gangue formed by Al2O3, FeO and MgO etc. are used industrially. The presence of gangue affects the composition of chrome ores. It changes the chromium oxide content in the mineral as well as the Cr2O3 by FeO ratio, which is the main factor of chrome ore quality. I repeat, Cr2O3 by FeO ratio, it is the main factor of chrome ore quality. Do remember this? Since FeO is always more readily reduced than Cr2O3, iron is wholly reverted to the alloy when chrome is reduced. Although chromium ores deposits are widespread, only a limited number are of industrial interest. Ores used for the production of refined ferrochrome by the silicothermic method should have the minimum possible SiO2 content, for otherwise additional quantities of fluxes have to be provided, and that entails additional losses of chromium and electrical energy. The FeO content should be at the minimum too, since a high FeO content leads to unwarranted consumption of high cost reducer ferrochrome silicon and damages furnace lining. According to ferrous metallurgy, chromium ore specifications intended for the manufacture of ferroalloys must meet the following requirements as listed in the table 1 below. My dear friends, this table describes the overall requirements and of chromium and its analysis. Chrome ores, you can pause the video and observe the grades and its main contents. There should be no carbon bearing materials in the chrome ore. The permissible weight of gangue is 1.2% of the total. Chrome ore is delivered in batches which should be composed of similar grades of ore. Fine coke is used as a reducer in the production of carbon and foundry ferrochrome. I repeat it once again. Fine coke is used as a reducer in the production of carbon and foundry ferrochrome. Ferrochrome silicon is used as a reducer when smelting other grades of ferrochrome. Ferrochrome silicon is used as a reducer when smelting other grades of ferrochrome. There is a difference of reducers used for different grades of ferrochrome, so please do remember. The fluxing material used in the manufacture of refined ferrochrome is lime. It should be well burnt and contain at least 90% CaO and below 0.025% phosphorus. The lumps of lime should not exceed 80 mm in size. Hydrated lime is not to be used. Quartzites are used as fluxing material when smelting carbon grades of ferrochrome. Now let us discuss about production of foundry and carbon grades of ferrochrome. Chromium ore is used for the manufacture of carbon ferrochrome. Oxides contained in the ores are reduced by carbon reducers, that is fine coke. Chromic oxide is reduced by carbon at 1230 degrees Celsius with heat absorption according to the reaction. Cr2O3 plus 3C is equal to 2Cr plus 3CO. Stable carbides are formed in the reduction of Cr2O3 by carbon at 1100 degrees Celsius according to the reaction Cr2O3 plus 27 by 7 C is equal to 2 by 7 Cr7 C3 plus 3CO. The reduction of FeO proceeds according to the reaction FeO plus C is equal to Fe plus CO. Iron reduced from ore promotes the reduction of chromium since chrome carbides which appear in the later processes dissolve in iron with the formation of double carbides CrFe7C3. The melting point of commercial carbon ferrochrome is about 1500 degrees Celsius. Although the temperature of the reduction processes of chromium and iron oxides are relatively low, the smelting of carbon ferrochrome is practically effected at 1650 to 1750 degrees Celsius because this ensures sufficient slag and alloy fluidity and satisfactory slag alloy separation. The choice of slag composition is an important part in carbon ferrochrome smelting technology. The composition and melting point of the slag depends almost entirely on the composition of chrome ore gangue. The main slag components in carbon ferrochrome smelting are silica SiO2, magnesium oxide MgO and alumina Al2O3. The composition of slag in the smelting of carbon grades of ferrochrome is approximately as follows. SiO2 25 to 33%, MgO 28 to 38%, Al2O3 25 to 30%, CaO 1 to 4%, FeO 1 to 2%, Cr2O3 3 to 6%. The chemical composition of the alloy produced is as follows. Chromium 69 to 74%, silicon 0.7 to 1.8%, carbon 5.3 to 7.2%. Partial refining of alloy from carbon by chrome oxide according to the reaction Cr7C3 plus Cr2O3 is equal to 9Cr plus 3CO is effected in the smelting of carbon ferrochrome. This process is possible only at high temperatures and with elevated concentrations of chrome oxide in the reaction zone. Consequently, the smelting process is effected in the presence of hard-to-fuse slags which are formed when hard-to-reduce lumps of rich ores are used. Alloys are partially refined due to the formation of the so-called ore layer at the slag-alloy interface. This layer is met with when certain grades of ores with hard-to-fuse gangue are used. When the alloy and slag are tapped, the layer remains in the furnace because it is quite viscous. Drops of alloy trickle down through the layer and are partly refined from carbon. Unlike carbon ferrochrome, foundry ferrochrome has a low chromium content, that is 60 to 65%, and an elevated silicon content which is average 2 to 3%. Its carbon content is not specified and this may cause an excess of silica and reducer in the mixture. Such an alloy assay permits to use low quality ores, chromium bearing slags 25 to 30% Cr2O3 and tailings of ferrochrome and ferrosilicon smelting. The high temperatures of the process ensures the reduction of silicon in addition to that of chromium and iron. The amount of silicon reduced depends on the presence of silica in the slag and reducer excess in the mixture. Slags obtained in the smelting of foundry ferrochrome contain approximately 31 to 37% SiO2, 23 to 30% MgO, 29 to 36% Al2O3, 2 to 3% CaO, 3 to 5% Cr2O3, and 1 to 2% FeO. The chemical composition of foundry ferrochrome is approximately 7.5 to 8.5% carbon, 59 to 64% chromium, and 0.5 to 4% silicon. Quartzites are added to the mixture to provide the necessary amount of silica in smelting both carbon and foundry ferrochrome. So, my dear friends, let us now discuss about uses of ferrochrome. Ferrochrome is an alloy of chrome and iron with additions of carbon, silicon, and several other elements. As an alloying element, chrome is a component of numerous grades of steels and special alloys. Steels alloyed with chrome acquire valuable physical properties. It increases steel hardness, strength, yield point, and elasticity. Thanks to its positive effect on mechanical, physical, and chemical properties of steel, chrome is widely used in the manufacture of structural, tool, and special grease steels, acid and heat resisting stainless steels. Low carbon steel with more than 12% chromium and approximately 8% nickel is called stainless steel. When steel contains chrome and silicon, it acquires heat resisting qualities. Chromium is used most as an alloying element in combination with nickel, 17.5 to 19% chromium and 8 to 11% nickel. Such a combination of elements gives steel acid resisting characteristics. Alloy of the nichrome type possesses high electric and antioxidant resistance properties and are used as electric heating elements which contain 60 to 80% nickel and 15 to 20% chromium. Heat resisting steels containing 30 to 60% chromium are widely used in the manufacture of gas turbine and jet engine parts. Chromous steels containing approximately 1% of carbon and 1% of chromium are very hard and are widely used in the manufacture of ball and roller bearings. Now let us discuss about grades of ferrochrome. Ferrochrome is manufactured in various grades for the alloying of alloys and steels as shown in the table 2. Metallic chromium with specifications as shown in the table 3 used for the manufacture of steel with special physical properties and alloys with a low iron content. In some cases, special grades of extra low carbon and nitrided ferrochrome are used and their compositions are shown in table 4. My dear friends, this is the table which shows the grades of ferrochrome as mentioned. You can pause the video and notify all the grades and their specifications, contents. Table 3, this is the composition of metallic chromium. Table 4, compositions of extra low carbon and nitrided ferrochrome and chromium aluminum alloys. Now uses of various grades of ferrochrome. For the manufacture of high chromium heat resisting steels and soft stainless steels with carbon below 0.07%. For the manufacture of high chromium heat resisting steels with up to 0.20% carbon, as well as stainless acid resisting steels. For the manufacture of acid resisting stainless steels with carbon content up to 0.3% and several grades of low carbon chromium tungsten steels. These are the uses of various grades of ferrochrome. For the manufacture of chromous stainless steels. For the manufacture of low carbon structural steels. For the manufacture of structural and chromous tool steels with carbon content up to 0.50%. For the manufacture of all grades of chromous steels with a high carbon content tool steels. Now, most important part of the presentation is burden calculations or material balance of ferrochrome. For that, we require initial data, which can be taken as reduction of Cr2O3 in the ore is approximately 90%. Reduction of iron oxides in the ore is approximately 95%. Carbon content in the alloy is 7%. Silicon content in the alloy is 1.5%. The amount of fixed carbon in the mixture exceeds the stoichiometric amount by 25%. The SiO2 content in the slag, assuming that the slag is composed of 3 components only, comes to 30%. The composition of ore is 54% Cr2O3, 15.6% FeO, 13.6% MgO, 10% Al2O3, 4.5% SiO2. The reducer fine coke contains minimum 87% of fixed carbon. Quartzite containing 97% minimum SiO2 serves as flux. The charge calculation is made for the one portion of the mixture, that is 500 kg of moist ore or 475 kg of dry ore. Amount of chrome reduced by the reaction Cr2O3 plus 3C is equal to 2Cr plus 3CO. My dear friends, here you have to always keep in mind the atomic weights so that of different elements, so that you can balance the equations and further calculate the requirements. So here comes 475 into 0.54 into 0.90 into 104 divided by 152, which comes to 158 kg. Here 104 is the Cr2 atomic weight and 152 is the Cr2O3 atomic weight. Amount of iron reduced by the reaction is FeO plus C is equal to Fe plus CO. It comes to 475 into 0.156 into 0.95 into 56 divided by 72 is equal to 54.8 kg. Here 0.156 is the 50.6% of FeO content in the ore. 0.95 is the reduction of FeO from the ore, and 56 is the atomic weight of iron, and 72 is the atomic weight of FeO. Chrome and iron total is equal to 158 plus 54.8, which comes to 212.8 kg. The chrome and iron contained in the alloy, the sum of carbon and silicon is subtracted, averages 100 minus 7 plus 1.5 is equal to 91.5%. The amount of alloy obtained is equal to 212.8 divided by 0.915 is equal to 232.6 kg. The amount of silicon in it is 232.6 into 0.015 is equal to 3.5 kg. Here 0.015 is 1.5% silicon in the alloy. The amount of carbon necessary, let us calculate. For the reduction of Cr2O3 according to the reaction, Cr2O3 plus 3C is equal to 2Cr plus 3CO. It comes to 158 into 36 divided by 104 is equal to 54.7 kg. 158 is the alloy content of Cr2O3. For the reduction of FeO according to the reaction, FeO plus C is equal to Fe plus CO is equal to, it comes to 54.8 into 12 divided by 56 is equal to 11.7 kg. For the reduction of SiO2 according to the reaction, SiO2 plus 2C is equal to Si plus 2CO. It comes to 3.5 into 24 divided by 28 is equal to 3.0 kg. For the carbonization of the alloy, we require 232.6 into 0.07 is equal to 15.3 kg of carbon. 0.07 is 7% carbon in the alloy. Total amount of carbon necessary is equal to 54.7 plus 11.7 plus 3.0 plus 15.3 is equal to 84.7 kg. Amount of fine coke necessary including 25% excess is equal to 84.7 into 1.25 divided by 0.87 is equal to 121.7 kg. Here 0.87 is 87% of fixed carbon in the fine coke. My dear friends, you have to always keep in mind the various contents of the percentages of the particular element, from where it is getting, and its atomic weight and its recovery in the metal and slag separately. Let us now calculate the necessary amount of quartzite, X being the amount of quartzite introduced with the ore. Al2O3 which is introduced with the ore is 475 into 0.10 is equal to 47.5 kg. MgO is 475 into 0.136 is equal to 64.6 kg. SiO2 is 475 into 0.045 plus 9.97 x minus 3.5 into 60 is divided by 28 is equal to 13.9 plus 0.97 x. So it comes Al2O3 plus MgO plus SiO2 is equal to 47.5 plus 64.6 plus 13.9 plus 0.97x is equal to 126.0 plus 0.97x. 13.9 plus 97x is equal to 0.3 into 126.0 plus 0.97x. Here 0.3 is 30% of SiO2 in the slag. Do remember that? Please don't get confused. Let us now further solve this equation. 13.9 plus 0.97x is equal to 0.3 into 126 plus 0.3 into 0.97x. So further solving this equation gives x is equal to 0.3 into 126 minus 13.9 whole divided by 0.97 minus 0.3 into 0.97 is equal to 23.9 divided by 0.68 is equal to 35 kg. You can further calculate all the data to balance the equation. Thus, the composition of mixture for the smelting of ferrochrome will be as follows in kgs. All quantities in kg. Chrome ore 475 kg. This is the dry quantity. Fine coke is 121.7 kg. And quartzite is 35 kg. Carbon and foundry ferrochrome are smelted in three-phase electric arc furnaces of varying capacities at a line voltage of 130 to 154 volts. The smelting of carbon ferrochrome is a continuous process with closed top. The charged mixture is charged into the furnace mainly onto the electrodes as the preceding portion melts down. The charged mixture is composed of 500 kg of chromium ore, stoichiometric amounts of quartzite and fine coke, and 30 to 40 kg of reverts. In the smelting of ferrochrome, there may occur sulfur waste, and because of it, the process is conducted with a hot furnace top to ensure the evaporation of sulfur. High sulfur fine coke shouldn't be used. Power consumption per one batch of charge should average 925 kWh in normal conditions. Uniform charging, stable positioning of electrodes, steady, uniform, light yellow flame at the top, and easy tapping of alloy and slag and their correct composition are proof of normal operating conditions. So, my dear friends, let us now discuss some practical problems associated with carbon ferrochrome smelting. These are very special data, very important information. Lack of reducer in the mixture, the alloy, the amount of quartzite being normal causes fluctuations of input at the electrodes and high consumption of the electrodes. The carbon content in the alloy decreases, slag becomes viscous and their Cr2O3 content goes up. This is one problem. So its solution is a single charge of fine coke 200 to 300 kg and an increased amount of reducer in the mixture remedy the situation. Let us now discuss the next problem. Excess of reducing agent with correct proportioning of quartzite leads to high positioning of electrodes and evaluation of white flames at the top. The silicon content in the alloy increases while the SiO2, Cr2O3 and FeO content in the slag falls. To remedy for this problem is the slag is overheated. To set the furnace right, the amount of fine coke is reduced or one or two batches of mixture are charged without coke. The other problem is excess of quartzite with the amount of coke being correct is the cause of acid slags. The slag becomes cold, the carbon content in the alloy rises, the crusts and fridges in the tap hole, the furnace top becomes dark, electrode positioning is deep. To restore the normal run of the furnace, the quantity of the quartzite in the mixture is diminished, though an even more drastic method is to exclude quartzite entirely from a number of mixture batches. Other problem is lack of quartzite with correct amount of coke causes the formation of hard to fuse and viscous slag with large amounts of entangled metal prills. Slag salamanders grow round the electrodes. White smoke evolves at the top. The slag is dense, viscous and is tapped with difficulty. The alloy is overheated. The carbon content in the alloy decreases. To overcome this problem and smoothen the operation, quartzite should be increased in the mixture and a special portion of quartzite, approximately 300 kg, should be charged to eliminate the furnace troubles. Lack of both the quartzite and fine coke in the furnace leads to the formation of hard to fuse viscous slags which traps considerable amounts of prills of metal and unreduced ore. Slag doesn't flow out of the furnace and erodes furnace walls. The silica content in the slag is low and that of carbon and silicon in the alloy diminishes too. The positioning of the electrodes is high, arcing is audible, blowouts appear round the electrodes. Additional fine coke and quartzite should be charged simultaneously in the furnace to solve the above mentioned problem. Lack of fine coke with quartzite being in excess gives birth to cold and viscous slag containing much of SiO2, Cr2O3 and FeO. The positioning of electrodes is low. The electrodes are slagged. Their consumption goes up. The carbon content of the alloy increases while that of silicon decreases. In this case, it is necessary to check the proportion of the mixture and increase the weight of the reducer in the mixture. Next problem is excess of coke and quartzite in the mixture is followed by an increase in the silicon content of the alloy. Slagged coke comes through the tap hole. The positioning of the electrodes is unstable. Ore without coke and quartzite is to be charged to correct the furnace. Excess of fine coke along with lack of quartzite causes the high positioning of electrodes and numerous blowouts and eruptions of coke from the crucibles. All these make furnace top operation very difficult. Slags are hot but viscous. Their Cr2O3 content is low and it is not always possible to tap them. After a check-up on mixture proportioning, the weight of the reducer per batch should be diminished. Slag with elevated alumina content. In this case, slag becomes foamy and looks cold and acid. There is considerable slagging round the electrodes. Their positioning is unstable. The alloy is cold. To improve the furnace run, reverts shouldn't be charged following a check upon the proportioning and ore quality. Slag and alloy are tapped into a fire brick lined ladle simultaneously through the same tap hole 3 to 4 times per shift. Slag is poured from the ladle into cast iron slag pots. After the tapping, the tap hole is plugged with refractory clay as deep as possible, for a shallow plugged tap hole may cause damage to the adjacent lining which in its turn may hamper the operation of the tap hole and lead to its breakdown. Teaming into sectional cast iron pans is effected by means of a ladle with a sleeve in the bottom. During the teaming, a sample is taken with the a spoon and analyzed for chromium, silicon, carbon, phosphorus and sulfur content. On the following day, cooled alloy ingots are smashed into lumps of not more than 15 kg, cleared of slag and stored. Foundry ferrochrome as a rule is granulated. My dear friends, this table shows the consumption of raw materials per 1 basic ton and chromium recovery in the smelting of foundry and carbon ferrochrome as follows. Chrome ore, foundry ferrochrome requires 1850 kg, carbon ferrochrome requires 1911 kg, its chromium content is 663 kg for foundry ferrochrome, and for carbon ferrochrome it's 654 kg. Rich slag kg is for foundry ferrochrome it is not required. For carbon ferrochrome requires 100 kg. Its chromium content in kg is for carbon ferrochrome it's 21 kg. Fine coke 495 kg for foundry ferrochrome and 470 kg for carbon ferrochrome. Quartzite 140 kg for foundry ferrochrome and 70 kg for carbon ferrochrome. Electric power consumption kWh is 3500 kWh for foundry ferrochrome and 3500 kWh for carbon ferrochrome as well. Anode paste is 27 kg for both. Recovery of chromium is 90% for foundry ferrochrome and 89% for carbon ferrochrome. My dear friends, hope you liked the content and found the video worth. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. My dear friends, also remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of the new videos promptly. My dear friends, here I raised my voice for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I again request you, please do watch all the videos available in my channel. Visit my channel regularly and repeatedly. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Thank you.